So we'll start for today. Last class we just discussed on this Java library. This user library anyway we are going to study in details, and this IDQ library, there are two ways in which IDQ can be integrated into Informatica MDM. So basically there are two ways. One is called as the platform staging, okay, and the second one is as cleanse adapter. What's a cleanse adapter? Cleanse adapter means, see, by default you can see these are all the default cleansing features provided by Informatica MDM. But let's say if you feel that these are not sufficient, and if you want to create some more additional things, so you can create a Java based or IDQ based, or you can use address doctor or Trillium or any other first logic, any other external cleanse adapter. So that's the cleanse adapter. So you can use it, use this in the platform staging. Platform staging means, I already told you that you load data directly into the staging table, okay, skipping the landing table and the mapping. So when you skip the landing table, it means you also skip the mapping, and it can also be used as a cleanse adapter. So IDQ is an example of cleanse adapter. Like in here, what will be done is you need to create an IDQ library. See, the logic how IDQ has to be implemented as a cleanse adapter is based on a web service. Okay, so if you have any knowledge on web service, then you can easily understand. Otherwise, let me quickly tell you what's a web service. See, web service is a very simple thing. A web service example is, let's say you're a customer, waiter, then for example, see, if you're hungry, then what you will do. So first of all, first thing is, who is hungry? Okay, the customer is hungry. It means the initiator of the web service is the customer. Customer is the requester. Okay, so in this example, customer is feeling hungry, so he'll go to an hotel, and then waiter is the middle person, or you can say it's the middleware, or it's an EAI or anything, through which the customer will order items from the kitchen, and kitchen is basically the web server. See, this is the client, this is API plus EAI, okay, and this one is nothing but the web server. Okay, so client, web server. For example, you directly go here and say amazon.com. okay, so and if I type here shoes, what will happen? So who is the requester? I am the requester. I am requesting information, that is I want information on shoes. So who is giving me response? The Amazon web server or the web service is giving me response. And what is the response? The response is list of all the shoes. So this is an example of a web service. Okay, similarly, so you can create web service in IDQ. You can create web service in IDQ, and you can give the details. So when you create a web service consists of web service descriptive language, that is the WSDL, web service descriptive language. No need to worry about web service, because when we go to SIF is all about web services. So we'll study more on the web services there, so no need to worry. But remember, you can easily correlate this example with an Amazon example. So what Amazon is doing is, when you type shoes, then it passes that on to an internal algorithm, and it gives you a list. Similarly, you can create the mapping logic, everything in the IDQ, and then you can make it a web service, and then you can give all these details, so the web services will be invoked. And what will happen is the IDQ can be called as a function like this. For example, this uppercase, title case, all this, the way these are called, right? Similarly, that can also be called. What is the main difference in IDQ IDQ cleanse function, or the thing that we just discussed? The problem here is, here it's not a web service. Okay, all these are Java functions, so they'll be executed locally. Okay, so they are not web services, so they are executed locally. String functions, or you can say Java functions, are executed locally, whereas IDQ is executed on the IDQ server. So what is the problem if you use it? The problem is, if IDQ is down, then your MDM has to wait, or you can say your MDM cannot also operate. Okay, will impact. That's the first thing. And second disadvantage of using IDQ as a cleanse adapter is it's slow, because see, it's a request response mechanism. For example, if there are 10k records, so 10,000 records I'm getting today. Sorry. So let's say I'm getting, yeah.
Sunil, can be installed on the same MDM server?
MDM on the same MDM server, what IDQ you are saying?
Yeah.
IDQ is actually installed, but it is not configured. I have to configure it.
So within the installation itself, there should be a web service connection established. If
No,
suppose I install
no,
IDQ and MDM on the same server.
no. They need not be installed in the same server. That is the concept of web service. So it can be installed in anywhere. Just the thing is, it should be accessible in via VPN.
Okay, we can't install on the same server.
You can install, but the problem is with the libraries. The problem is the libraries are sometimes conflicting, because of which in the path, if you see, right? So in the path, especially the libraries are conflicting, because of which one is corrupting another thing. But yeah, you can install IDQ and MDM. You can install. There won't be much problem. But if you install Power Center, there will be big issues, because Power Center still does not comes up with a. The client is still 32-bit only for Power Center. They have not released 64-bit client yet. The server is 64, but the client is 32-bit only, as far as I know. So that's why there's a problem.
Yeah, but see, Power Center clients can be on a different machine.
Correct. Power Center client you can install on different machine, but still the libraries will collide. You have to install them carefully. If you carefully install it, then it will work fine.
Yeah, I mean, I understand we have to use the web service if it is installed on a separate server.
No, it's not like that. If it is installed on the same server also, if you want to use it in here, you have to call it as a web service only. That's the logic here.
Oh, okay.
So it doesn't matter if it's on the same server or different server. The mechanism is web service, means request response.
Okay.
That is why it is very slow, because say if for 10,000 times, let's say I get 10k records every day. So what will happen to this mapping will be called 10k times. Okay, so 10k times via request response. So you understand, right? Request response.
So then it will be a huge problem if you have to load the historical loads. No, it takes forever.
Correct. Yeah. So that's why this has many. This is not that much used. If it is used, you must make sure that it's only for less than 1k customers. Okay.
So it's on a delta mechanism, we can invoke the IDQ, but not on a historical load.
Yeah, not even on in all deltas, because in some deltas the volume will exceed 10, 18, 20k, and in some delta source files it will be 1k something. So in those cases you can include it.
So it's better to leverage the MDM cleanse functions only.
No, not necessarily. I mean, yeah, that's correct. But the best option still, I mean, if your data quality is bad, then it will be with platform staging.
Oh, okay.
because this has no issue with performance. This is a batch architecture, so this does not have any issues with performance.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so I'll also show you once I install. I'm trying to install. Actually, I have installed, but there is some conflict. One second.
Hey,
Yes.
Sunil, quick question.
Yeah.
We are going through platform staging. I
Just
mean,
one second.
just a step.
Yeah, sorry, Pawan. Go ahead. You were asking something.
No, Sunil. I was just asking the platform staging. Are you going to just briefly give us a sec? Or else I had a couple questions, but if you were going to, then I will skip it.
Yeah, yeah. I'll show you platform staging.
Okay. Thank
And this is from version 10 only. So previously, the only way of to implement was using as, either it as a cleanse adapter or using it like power center with MDM. So that was the only way, but now it is their platform staging. So yeah, this is a new option. So anyway, now let's move on to the main part. The main part is add user library. So as an MDM developer, you will be responsible for creating user libraries. So user library, all this, for example, this string function that you see here, it's nothing but a user library. All these are user libraries. Sorry, this is not a user library. This is Java library. This is a user library. Okay, so if you right click, if it is allowing you to delete it, for example, if I right click here, then that's a user library. So first let me quickly create a user library. Add user library. Let's say cleanse, party cleanse, let's say, because we are trying to clean the party. So what is a user library? User library is nothing but it's a folder. Okay, so it's a folder that contains the functions that we'll be creating. Okay, for example, these are the three types of functions that we can create: a graph function, a regex, or a cleanse list, and we can create these functions inside this user library. Okay, so this is the user library is nothing but it's just a folder. Okay, so inside this we can create three types of graph function. Okay, so first is a graph function will go, then regular expression, then cleanse list. These two are very easy, graph and regular expression. Even a cleanse list is easy, but because of multiple options, this looks a bit complicated. Okay, first of all, let's try to understand a graph function. To demonstrate a graph function, what I'll do is, seen here, we discussed about this scenario, uppercase. Okay, so let's say my requirement is, I'll just simply say my requirement is also I want to uppercase that, then I want to, let's say, use something like let's say concatenate, something like this. Okay, so let's assume that I want to use multiple functions. So this, let's say I uppercase it, and this I want to concatenate these two results, name and alias, and then I want to join it to somewhere. So the thing what I'm doing here is I'm using this is one function and this is another function. I'm using two functions, so that is fine. But let's say if I have to reuse this logic across other mappings, as well as let's say I have to reuse this particular logic in this mapping or in multiple mappings, then what is the option for what is the option I have? Copy paste. That's the looks like that's the easiest way. Copy paste, you copy and paste the logic. Okay, but here actually you cannot copy paste, but let's say copy paste means recreating the same logic everywhere. So that's the meaning of copy paste. But what's the advantage disadvantage of copying and pasting? The disadvantage is, let's say if I change any logic here, okay, let's say instead of uppercase I want to convert everything from lowercase, let's say lowercase and concatenate. So if I have done a copy paste, I would have to change that logic everywhere, right? I have to change that logic everywhere. So that is one disadvantage of copy paste. Second is maintenance point of view. Maintenance point of view, okay, and there are many other things, but basically the most important thing is reusability. For those people who are in Power Center, this is nothing but the concept of maplets. Okay, so this is similar to the concept of maplets. So what we do is we take a bunch of, what is a graph function? Graph function is a collection of small cleanse functions. Okay, for example, if you go to our document here, in this logic what we need to do is, let's say if we want to implement this remove noise, digit, trim, title case. So you can see that whatever logic you are seeing here, the same logic is used for alias cleansing, and the same logic is used for first name, middle name, last name. So what I'll do is, if I copy paste, then I have to create that thing for 5 times here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll create a reusable component. So graph function is nothing but a reusable component. For example, just see this, instead of doing it this way, what I can also do is I'll go to the graph function here. Let's say, see, we have to quickly start this mapping document. G underscore, so that's the name of the graph function. G underscore, let's say test, because I'm just creating a dummy. We'll create a real one when we go to the mapping sheet. Okay, I think I have to restart the server once. It's getting slower. Okay, so this is like a small mapping itself. You can see here, you can add any number of input, output. You can add as many as input you want and many outputs you want, and you can add function. For example, you can add any types of function that you want. So you do customization. Let's say if you want to add any other function, then you can go here. Let's say compress white space. Okay, so you can see that what I'm doing is I'm combining all these small things, and then I'm creating a graph function. And what I'll do is, in this mapping, instead of creating this logic there, I'll simply call this graph function. So that is the main objective of graph function. It's basically for reusability. Okay, so let's see here. So instead of that, what I'll do is party cleanse, and I'll simply call this function. So this is a custom function, which is nothing but, what is this function? This function is something that uses this set of logic. This logic it uses. So that is what a graph function does. Okay, so that is the main function use of a graph function. We'll learn more about graph function, no need to worry. Concentrate on the cleanse list. Let's quickly complete this regex also. Regex is also easy, because you can only work on regular expression if you know regular expression. See, regular expression has nothing to do with Informatica MDM or Informatica or any other tool. Regular expression is a common standard for searching or extracting string patterns. Okay, for example, I'll just show you. um, R, or you can say regex. Better we'll go with R underscore, let's say test. Actually, I'm also migrating this to another server because it's a bit slow here. So this will, I'll do that in the weekend. That will also improve this. So regular expression means, like, regular expression is very big subject. I mean, it's a complete training course in itself. So, but you do not need to know everything. You just know the basic. For example, let's say if I want to validate a phone number. So in India, what is the phone number? The phone number, this is, I don't know in US, but in India, this is how you validate the phone number. Okay, so what is written here is 7 to 9, that is 7 or 8 or 9 repeats once. Okay, and 0 to 9, that is any alphabet, sorry, any number from 0 to 9 repeat for 9 times. Okay, so my total digit is 1 plus 9, that is 10 digit. Okay, total it is 10 digit, and my first digit must be between 7 to 9. Okay, if it is let's say 6, then my validation should fail. So just save it once. So let's say this is my phone number. If I say it is coming as true, but let's say if I give invalid in the sense, if I give it as 5 in India, that's not a valid number. Okay, so if I test it, you will see this is coming as false. So basically, using regular expression, see, I've just given an example. You can literally do anything. I mean, if you know regular expression, literally you can do anything. For example, string, alphanumeric, search, or any advanced level of search, anything you can do in regular expressions. Okay, basically it's the raw regular expression. Whatever expression you give, based on that it will validate if the particular string is correct according to that regular expression or not. And if you want to learn more on regular expression,
can we do search and replace options in here?
no, search and not replace. This is only for, this serves two things. This one serves only for matching. You can see this is only for matching, and the output is just a dummy output. That is, whatever is input, it's coming as output. And in here, in the string functions, you can extract a string. You cannot search and replace like in set or vi.
I mean, basically, in this string, if there are any kind of spaces or stars or those kind of patterns, if you
Yeah,
have to replace.
yeah, that will do it in the cleanse list. That is the
Cleanse
concept of
list,
cleanse
okay.
list. Okay, that is what the
Oh.
cleanse list is for. Okay, so, and see, regular expression are also always useful, and it's good that you should know regular expression. It has nothing to do with MDM, but still, if you want to, if you have time, you can, regular expression you can go and learn in the internet, and there are some websites where you can practice regular expression. For example, you see this regular regexr, regular expression. You can practice the regular expression here, because you need, let's say if you have Unix system or something, then that's fine. If you don't have, then you can also practice. For example, on this text, if you write a regular expression, so let's say any regular expression. Okay, so any regular expression you can do, and you can practice, and you can learn, but only do it if you have time, because your main focus should be on MDM, not on regular expression. Okay, so if you have time, and you can do it, but not on priority. And the third and the most important thing is cleanse list. I asked you to go through it because this is slightly complicated, not much. Okay, cleanse list is, what is cleanse list? What is, see, so in when we talk about cleansing, there are basically four things. One is cleansing itself, then comes the standardization. Okay, then comes validation, It's not in any order. Okay, I'm just writing whatever is coming to my mind. Enrichment. Basically, these are the 4 strategies based on which you clean the data. Cleansing is cleansing. The way you clean your house, you clean your you take a cloth and you clean it. So this is the same thing. So cleaning, for example, Sunil, let's say you have something like this. You would like to convert that to SUNIL. This is an example of cleansing. Standardization means, what is standardization? You go to a office in India. Let's say if you go to a school, then you have to wear a tie and you have to wear the uniform. Okay, so why? Because that is their standard. That is the standard in that school. So if you want to go to the school, then you would have to wear a tie and the uniform. So basically what you are doing is you are converting yourself into their standard. So similarly, standardization means converting the source format into MDM format. That is called as standardization. That is standard, converting the source format into the MDM format, or I would say MDM standard. That is called as standardization. Example is converting IND to India, because let's say in source you're getting IND or 091 or Republic of India. Okay, so you would like to convert all of them to India. That is an example of standardization. Validation is validation. You just check it. If the name is valid, then do this, or if it's invalid, then send it to the reject table. So that's simple validation. I think you already know what's validation. And enrichment is, enrichment is, let's say you have bauxite. What is bauxite? Bauxite is an ore of aluminium. Okay, so let's say bauxite has 70% aluminium. So you will find out, first of all, how will you find out that that particular bauxite has 70% aluminium or not? That will be done in data profiling. Okay, through the data profiling you will be able to find out how much percentage of iron or how much percentage of aluminium is there in the bauxite. And what I'm trying to say is how your data is. Okay, that you can find out using the data profiling. And once you do that, okay, the second step is actually to extract the 70% aluminium from bauxite. Okay, so that's the second thing. And in terms of data, what I mean is extract or enrich, not extract, you would say the technical term is enrich the data using different type of methods that we are going to have, that is the cleansing methods. Okay, and yeah, because if you try to sell bauxite directly, no one will take it, but if you sell aluminium, everyone will take it. Similarly, if your data quality is bad, that's pretty much like useless, but if you enrich it, okay, then you can use it. So these are the four rough things. Now cleanse list can be used to accomplish almost all these things. Okay, cleanse list, what it means is it's similar to
Sunil,
yeah.
Sunil, the enrichment part is basically the enrichment of DNB stuff for the profiles, no?
Yeah, you can use enrichment at any logic. So actually this enrichment and the standardization, sorry, enrichment, cleansing, standardization, this need not be always different. In if the sometimes the enrichment will be same as your cleansing. That depends, but yeah.
No, basically if you are going for DNB stuff and all, you are enriching the existing profile, what you are receiving from
Correct,
CRM.
correct, that's correct. That's correct. Yeah, you enrich it against an external database or an internal or an existing database, you enrich the data. That's correct.
Yeah, second thing is regarding standardization, basically some of the attributes like country codes or those kind of things which can be standardized across the enterprise. I mean, basically trying to get an ISO 2 char code or 3 char code or giving the full expansion of the country names.
Correct. Yeah, that's correct. So standardization is standardization. I mean, you convert the source standard into MDM standard. That's standardization. So because the source are heterogeneous, it could be anything, but your MDM, the format of data is always same. For example, if it is coming as INDIA or let's say 091, I don't care how it is coming, because if I'm the MDM architect, my decision is I'll store the full name of the country only. I'm not going to store 091. I cannot store. So that is my standard. Okay, so
Yeah.
that is my standard. So standardization is all about converting these into my standard. And how do I do it? That's technical, but theoretically this is the meaning. Technically, we can do all of this using the cleanse list. That is why cleanse list is very handy.
Okay.
And it's very easy also. So first of all, this example, the cleanse list, this example, let's try to quickly implement this example in the cleanse list, see how this works. So India 091 ROI will convert all of this into India. So to do that, right click, add cleanse list, CL or C, whatever in your organization is using. We'll use test only because these are just temporary things. We'll create our many cleanse list will create here. Okay, so first initially don't concentrate on this. First let me give an example. So go to the details, create this, here specify IND, here specify India. So what will happen? India IND will be replaced with India. Okay, I'm quickly taking you through this example, not theoretically. India, and let's say you're getting as Republic of India, then that also should be converted to India. Okay, then we'll quickly go here, input IND. I just test it, see the output. The output is coming as INDIA. Okay, and let's say I'm giving something else, then you can see the match flag is coming as false. Okay, the output is same as the input, that will always be the same, that's not the big deal. The match flag is false, it means that did not match, and the matched column is coming as null. So you would have already guessed by now that what is this output, matched and match flag. For example, just see here, IND, this is coming as true. True means whatever was coming from the source has matched with this cleanse list. This is a cleanse list. Okay, this is a list. Okay, so whatever was coming from the source, see, this input will always come from the source, that is from the mapping. Okay, it will come from the mapping, and whatever was coming here got it found here. That is why the replacement happened. You can say IND got replaced with India, but so this is coming as true. So you would have already guessed what is match flag. Match flag means if it is matching here, then it is true. See, if I give Pakistan, Pakistan is not in the list. See what is happened. It's not there in the list. So the match flag will be false, and the matched, just see what happens to the matched. Match flag is false, match is null because it did not match anything. Okay, and output is coming as Pakistan, same as input. Okay, so that is a very
So the MDM now will store Pakistan itself, or it should be null, no?
MDM will store Pakistan means no.
So
See,
the base objects, will Pakistan be the value or null?
no, you will do an integrated check. You will check on this true and false. Okay, so you will accept only if it is true. For false, you will not accept.
It means it goes null.
Yeah, you can see here. No, we'll reject those customer. For example,
Okay.
In the country, yeah, where is the country? Yes, you see here, reject if it's not in the valid list. Okay, validate against the cleansed list, country, reject if it's not in the valid list. So let's say if you define 10 countries as valid countries, if it's coming outside those valid countries, then that should be rejected.
So the whole record will be rejected.
Yeah, whole record will be rejected. I mean, that is the logic for us. In your project, it could be different logic, but yeah, that is the logic for us.
Okay, it's kind of setting up a lookup values or a file.
This is not exactly a lookup, but yes, it is very similar to a lookup, because the lookup functionality, the 100% perfect lookup functionality is this read database, that we'll go through later. But this is similar to a lookup, but the only difference is the lookup values are in here. They are created in here. They are not stored in any database. In fact, they are stored, but in which table this is stored you will not be able to find out. That's an internal table.
Yeah, in the system table, so
It's
we
a
are
system
directly
table.
storing in the system table rather than looking the external file.
Correct, and this is much better than this read database. I'll tell you when I go to read database. From performance point of view, this is very good, but read database is very slow. Okay, it's this is the 100% lookup concept. I mean, this is the exact lookup concept that you have in ETL. This read database functionality. This is similar to lookup, but you can say it's a lookup but internal. So because it is internal, that's why the performance is also very good.
Yeah, basically it will be in the cache to look.
Yeah, it will be in the cache, and it will be very small. It will be in the cache, and yeah, it will cache the whole list itself. But this one can be millions of rows, but this one will not be much. This one will always be
Yeah,
small only.
yeah.
There is basically no limit as such. You can, I just showed you how you can do it manually, for example using this plus symbol. But instead of doing it manually, what you can also do is, you can, let's say you have this list already in the database, you can click here, you can connect to the database. Let's say if I connect to I'm connecting to any table, any, let's say if I connect it to ORS party, I'm just connecting it to show you. So you can choose any table. Let's say this any table. Let me say, I'm just randomly choosing a table. Let's you choose the two columns. Okay, sorry, this is for only one column. This here you can only choose the search string, okay, and the output string will be same as the search string, so you have to do a lot of manual things. So you do not use this option, you use this option. This is much better than that. This option is just a waste of, I mean, time. It's not used anywhere. But anyway, okay, I'll just quickly show you what's the problem with this. What I'll do, I'll just select, let's say, account table, and let's say if I select a column called as name, okay, this has to be distinct. This, whatever you're choosing, this values, one second, what is that out? Can we write any Oracle procedure or function package and call in MDM? No, you cannot call packages function procedure in MDM. I mean, you cannot call in this tool, but you can call it using user exit. Okay, using the user exit program, you can call it. For example, this is one user exit. This is one post load user exit. You can call any PL SQL code or any code. You can even call a C++ code or a mainframe code. Any code in this world you can call using this user exit. But if you cut off the user exit logic, then there is no other way of implementing PL SQL or anything here. Okay, so if you want to do any customization, you have to do that in the user exit, and this has to be in the Java. But no need to worry, because you just need to know how you can invoke a program in Java, because you are not actually going to code in Java. You can just code the program in PL SQL package, and then you can simply call the package here using Java. Calling a package using Java is not a big deal. It's very small thing only. Okay, sorry, let's go back. Let's try to complete the cleanse list today. Okay, so we created this cleanse list. This is just like a reference only. So that's the main purpose of this, to use it as a reference, or let's say list of country codes and all that. This is like a reference system only, but only thing is that the performance will be very good here. That's the only thing. Yeah, you can also use, that's what I told you, right? I mean, instead of this is one option, and another option is you can directly use a reference database and you can read from a reference database, but the performance will be very bad if you do it from a read database, because read database is performance wise it's not good. But you can implement the same logic what we are doing in cleansed list, same thing you can do it in read database. Only thing is this is much better than this one. This will also study, because in some cases we'll not be able to we cannot use this, because if I want to read a table, I cannot use this, I have to use this, so that it becomes a mandatory step to use this read database. Okay, so here you can import both the strings. You later try it, you know the user ID password. So for example, I'm just selecting, okay, this table. You need to select distinct values, otherwise this will fail. So country, let's say country CD. Okay, yeah, this has to be distinct, otherwise this will throw an error. Let's say I'm just selecting it. This the columns that you're selecting must be distinct, otherwise that's going to throw an error. Okay, what's the problem? There are many tables here. Let's see this party table. What is the error? Okay, I don't know if it's a valid error or it's just showing because it's duplicates or not. So okay, anyway, see, if you get an error, right, then how you can track is you will not find information much in logs. What you can do is you can go here to my support. That is not my support anymore, it is Network Informatica. Recently they changed it. So this is network.informatica.com, but still I'm used to this name. You have to use your organization. I think a lot of people know, people who are from power center background, they already know this. So anyway, you have to use your company email ID to register here. You cannot register using Gmail or Yahoo. So once you do that, this is the forum of Informatica, and if you have any doubts or anything, then you can simply post the thing here. I think this is coming because of because I'm taking duplicate values, but anyway, just search it. 10324. So similarly you can 10324. So you have to, I mean, you similarly you have to track it, you have to check, and you can find the solution. Okay, anyway, let's not divert. So you can later try it with different table, it will work. Okay, this is nothing but it's just importing it from a additional table. Here I'm giving it manually. Okay, you do not need to give it manually, you can also give it from a list. Okay, and also you can see it basically consists of three things. I can do an exact match, I can do regular expression, this is quite useful, regular expression. SQL match is not needed, it's just waste, I mean it's not necessary. SQL match is similar to what you say in where condition you give, right? So you give something like where, like those kind of thing you give, right? So this is same as that SQL expression. So it's not that useful, because it's not that useful, the reason is you have regular expression. When you have something very powerful, you don't want to use that weak things. Okay, so regular expressions we can use to replace or to we're going to study this in detail, regular expression, because in here when we create a noise, when we want to remove noise and digits, then we have to use the logic of regular expression. Okay, so and now let's come back here and try to understand these options here. See, if I give IND, see what is the output. The output is coming as India. But let's say if I give IND like this, okay, IND 55555. If I test, see what is the result. The result is false. The reason is IND is should be an exact match. What is IND should be exact match with this IND. Okay, and that is not happening. Okay, because the search type is by default, I'm not specifying anything, it means it is entire. You can see this, the search type, the default, if this parameter is not set, the default is entire. Okay, so because this parameter is not set, so that is why the default value is entire, entire, entire. But other two values what it can have is anywhere and word. So see, IND 5555 and all this. Okay, so this is not working because the default strategy is entire. Entire means it is entirely trying to match it, that is it is trying to entirely match this IND 5555 with this IND. So this is not going to work because IND is not entirely same as this one. So what can I do is I can change my strategy to anywhere. Anywhere means this IND will be searched anywhere inside this. And what will be the result if I search anywhere? The result is this IND occurs here. So this IND here will be replaced with India. You just see the result. What is the input? This is the input IND 5 IND 5 and this IND IA 5. You can see, right, the strategy change. If I change from entire to anywhere, it is matching. Let's say if I do it this now, INDIA, let's say IND. So IND is occurring how much? Twice. And if I do it now, what will happen? INDIA, INDIA. Two replacements are occurring. So that is fine. But the third type of thing here is entire, anywhere, and the third is a word. What's a word? What is a word? Word means here in this is a word and this is a word. So IND is a separate word here. IND is a separate word here, but here IND is inside another word. It's not an independent word. So if I make the strategy as word here, what will happen? The replacement will happen for this IND because it's a separate word, but it will not happen for this. You just test it. You see here, for the first IND, the replacement is not happening, but for the second IND, the replacement is happening to India. So basically, three things we have: entire, anywhere, and word. Word is not used that much. You always either use entire or anywhere. Anywhere is very widely used, okay, because normally you need to search it anywhere and you need to replace it. And this is also very easy. See, if I change the strategy to anywhere, what will be the result? India, India. Now replace all occurrences, it is showing as null. Null means it will take the default value. What is the default value? True. Okay, you can see this. Replace all occurrences, the default is true. So making it null or making it true, both are same thing. Okay, so replace all occurrences.
But Sunil, I have a couple of questions here. Output should be like a standardized format, right? But output we are taking as is.
Output is?
Which is not a output should be a matched one, right? Not as is, right? Output should be matched India, right? Here we are taking output as is, right? So which is not correct one, right?
This is not as it is. You can see output is coming as India. The input is IND. The input is IND. Output is coming as India.
Yeah. Here. Okay. I mean, okay.
Okay.
But input should be from the normally from the table, right?
Input, yeah, that's what correct. Now we are testing it, but this input will come from the table only.
Okay.
These fields will mention all these fields, but the input, see, guys, I see wherever in any of the functions that you see, the input will always be passed from the source. Okay, passed from the source means from the landing table. Okay, because I'm testing it, so I'm showing it directly, I'm giving the value here, but normally this will be passed from the source.
So basically the output should be India, not the complete string again. Because
Uh-huh.
they're trying to say that okay, if you find anything like IND anywhere in the
No.
string,
See, I'm just telling you the functionality of this cleanse list. We are not talking about cleaning countries now. Okay, I'm just telling you how to do it. You understand, right? I'm just telling
yeah,
you
I
different
agree.
functionalities. Okay.
Okay.
I mean, we got to do it different stuff.
Yeah, see, we are not talking about cleaning country name. I'm telling you different options. Okay, so cleaning countries and all that will take care in here, this mapping sheet. No need to worry about that. That is correct. This is not a method of cleaning country using anywhere strategy, because if you accept this as a country name, that will there will be a problem, because anyway this is not a valid country. It's also, this cannot be cleaned even. I mean, you can clean it, but this is, you have to write many additional logics to clean it. First, using a regular expression, you need to remove this, and then this repetition you need to remove it. That's possible. It's not big deal. But anyway, that's not the topic. Is to first of all understand different options in cleanse list. Okay. So this is replace all occurrences is true. True means what it is doing, it is replacing the first occurrence as well as the second occurrence. You can see here India, India. But if I make it false, what will happen? Only the first occurrence will be replaced. The second, third, fourth, fifth, let's say there are 1,000 occurrences, only the first occurrences will be replaced. You can see it here. The first occurrence INDIA. Okay, first occurrence says this is replaced. You can see the second occurrence is not replaced. This is as it is. Okay, it's not replaced. So this is a very simple option. Normally replace all occurrences will always, you'll keep it as true. There are very less cases where you will make it false. So you do not need to mention any value. You can say just null. Null means it is true. Stop on hit, just neglect it as of now. First of all, let me complete other things because this is slightly complicated. Strip means, see what is happening now. Currently IND is being replaced with India, and IND here is being replaced with India. Okay, but if I make strip as true, see by default strip is false. You can see by default strip is false. You can also check it here. The strip is false by default. Okay, but if I make it true, what is strip? Strip means stripping, removing. Okay, so instead of replacement, instead of IND being replaced with India, IND will be stripped here. Okay, so what will happen here if I make strip as true? IND will be replaced with null. Just see here what has happened here. IND got replaced with null. Okay, so this 5555 exists as it is. So this is also useful sometimes. And default value means, if let's say unknown, so if it is matching, then the output will be as it is. If it is not matching, let's say this, make the strategies entire, so definitely it will not match. Okay, then the match flag will come as what? Unknown. Okay, that is nothing but the default value. It will come to the default value. Okay, and the stop on hit. Now coming to the stop on hit. Stop on hit is about recursive searching. Recursive searching means, for example, see IND is being converted to India. Let's say this is called as recursive searching. IND is converted to India, and let's say if it is coming as India, then convert it to Republic of India. Okay, so what is happening if it is coming as IND? This list is this, if it is coming as IND, convert it to India. If it is coming as India, convert it to Republic of India. Now is it true? Let me just remove all these options, and IND, what should be the output? India. And if I make it India, it should come as Republic of India. This is working fine. But I want to do a recursive search. It means if I want to, what I want is, I want recursive means IND to be replaced with India, but the process should not stop there. The process should not stop there. What it should do is, it should check again these strings. That means IND should be replaced with India, and then if India is again present in this search string, then India should be replaced with Republic of India. And let's say again you have Republic of India, let's say like this. So what should be the, see, this order is important, so you make sure that you check the order properly. So IND with India, India with Republic of India, Republic of India with Bharat. Okay, so that is called as recursive search. Okay, and if you make stop on hit, by default it is true. Okay, so you can see IND you are getting as India, but if you make stop on hit as false, then that means recursive search. Okay, stop on hit is false means recursive search. If you test it, see Bharat. So what is coming? IND is the input, Bharat is the output. That is how many replacement are happening? IND with India, India with Republic of India, Republic of India with Bharat. If I change the order, it should not work. Okay, so that's why I told you the order is important, because it will be executed like this, 1 2 3, like that. In that way it will be executed. This is also very useful. In fact, most of the options that you see in the cleanse list are all useful. Strip is useful, stop on hit is very useful. This replace all occurrences is not needed, so don't need to concentrate. Search type is anyway, it's always mostly anywhere or entire. Okay, so you go through all of this, and you also check this noise functions. This noise functions is about removing this particular noises and all that. And more important thing is you go through all of this requirement based on whatever things I have told you. You go through, you try to understand these requirements. Okay, and we'll talk about that. Okay guys, with that we'll finish the class. You study more on the cleanse list, and if you have any doubts, you clarify, you ask me tomorrow itself. Okay. Okay guys, then we'll finish the class today.